Me and the Land Rover have been traveling around the country, and we got a stone chipper here in the windshield. Well, we don't want to end up replacing that windshield, so we're going to fill that stone chip with some resin so that water doesn't seep down and crack that sucker out. Let's get going with this video, show you how this is done. Okay, as you can see, there's a pretty significant stone chip in there, and that flew off a county truck when we were down in Kentucky earlier this week. I went down to the old local parts store and I picked this up for about 10 bucks. It's a window repair kit, and I'm gonna show you how you use this stuff. Pretty simple, pretty cheap. And if you don't want to watch this video and listen to me yammer, you can go ahead and just flip it over and read the instructions, which I would recommend no matter what. You're probably asking yourself, well, why can't I just leave that hole inside there, or you know, it's just a little dimple on my windshield? Well, what'll happen is moisture will get inside that chip right there, and then when it gets colder, it will freeze and expand and then crack the rest of your glass. Now, most of you need to know that you can check with your insurance company. They often will replace these, even if you have just comprehensive or the least amount of insurance. So check with them first, because often they don't even have a deductible on them. There's a lot of places that you can call that are independent glass specialists that will come out and replace your whole windshield for $200 or less. That's including the parts. You don't have to call auto glass specialist and all them crazy expensive places. They're mostly made for insurance companies, and there's lots of private individuals that just drive around to people's homes and their businesses and replace these glass. So keep that in mind if you have a much worse situation than what I've got going on here. Okay, this kit has some very important components into it. This little plastic shield, which is the most important, that I would think it was easiest to lose because it's fairly clear. This green thing, this glue stuff, this syringe thing, and this little plastic thing that will hold the syringe onto there to drop the resin down into the windshield. And most importantly, the instructions. Okay, here's some more gratuitous plugging of my channel and my merchandise. We want to pull the vehicle into somewhere that's cooler, preferably between 50 degrees and 75 degrees. If you can't get the windshield into a cool place, at least move it underneath the shade tree, turn on your air conditioner, let the windshield cool down, because we would prefer that to be between them temperatures before we start to repair it. Okay, so we are going to need a couple of things, like a thumbtack, or in this situation, this is a wire probe, some bang! No, that's just open water, just kidding. And a little bit of paper towel, or obviously, one of the first steps we're gonna do is we're gonna clean off the windshield in the area that's affected with this soap and water and this paper towel. Then we're gonna poke a little hole where the chip hit the windshield to make sure that we can get the resin down inside there. Okay, so there's a couple ways that we can get up in the center of the windshield where we need to be. Luckily, in my situation, I have air suspension, so I can lower the suspension. You could let the air out of the tires, or quite simply grab a cinder block and stand on that to get up in the middle. Now, taking your thumbtack or whatever sharp object you're going to use, we're going to clean out that hole and remove the debris. Now, taking a little bit of air, we're going to blow out the debris once it's removed out of there. You can use several different things, even your mouth. That's what she said. Now, this is our syringe seal. We'll notice that it has two sides to it, the white side and the green side. We're going to position this directly over the hole, and we want the hole to be in the center of there. And we're going to pull off the backing and make sure that it sticks to the windshield. Then we're going to pull off the green adhesive on the front. With that over the center, it will allow us to be able to stick our resin into the affected area much easier. And then we will use the syringe to pull the air out of the inside. Now, once that's applied, we want to rub our finger over the top of it to make sure that we push out any air bubbles in there. Then we can pull off our green portion. Now peel off the back part. This can be a real frickle thing to do. Once you've got the green tape removed, you can start by applying your suction cup down onto there. Make sure it's square and you push all the air out of it. Now we're going to spin the cap off the top of the resin and insert it down into the tube. We don't want to use any more than 75% of the resin tube, so we'll just dump a little bit in there. Squeezed it with both fingers, and we're going to use that resin later. Now, using one hand to hold on the base of the syringe, use your other hand to pull up on the syringe plunger, locking it into place. Now, there should be suction on that when you pull up on it, and you're going to lock it down into this pin right here, and we're going to let it sit for 10 minutes. So what has happened is, when we dropped our resin down inside there, it should have went inside the hole. If it went inside the hole, this is going to suck that air up out of there and make that a smooth, flat finish on the windshield. Now, once you've let the resin tube sit for a while, you can go ahead and screw it off and then allow air to go in there. After you've allowed air to go in there for a couple of moments, you can go ahead, reinsert your syringe and move this down to the next level. That will allow it to push air onto the resin and the loose resin that's inside the hole to forcefully push it into the hole further. This is what it should look like once you pushed it down. I left the plunger at the top with it off, and once I reinserted it to the pedestal, I pushed it down and locked it into the highest position on the syringe. Now we're going to let this sit for 20 minutes. Now, after about 20 minutes, we can remove our syringe, peel this up off the glass, or you can take a razor and swipe it down off the glass, which is what I'm going to do. Sometimes using the razor doesn't work quite as well as I would like it to, so I'm just going to end up pulling the pedestal off the sticky part and then pulling the sticky part up, running down with my razor. Make sure when you pull that off of there, you have a rag handy to catch the resin, and wipe that off the screen. Now we're going to take that clear screen, we're going to hold it on the glass like this, and I need two hands to be able to hold it up. And we're going to use the last little bit of resin and put it over it, and then stick this down to it, smooth it over, let it sit. Okay, so I took a little drop and I put my piece of plastic on there, and now I'm just going to let it sit and cure. Now we're going to move the vehicle directly in front of the sunlight so this can cure, and let it sit for 1 hour. And then we'll take a razor and we'll peel that UV curing lens off of the windshield, and it should be good to go. See, the reason that we're putting it in the sun is because the ultraviolet rays react with the UV paper and make the resin harden, along with the temperature, obviously. You can feel a little something there. And you can definitely see where it was. So we'll see what it looks like. Well, the idea is to fill in the cracks so water can't get in there and it can't splay. Hopefully we did that, but we definitely did it the clay way. Well, hopefully that old repair keeps a little bit of money back inside that corn store. And really, if you think about it, what do you have to lose? That thing would have cracked eventually anyways, even if you did it wrong. But I think it's pretty simple procedure, and if you read them instructions, I'm certain you'll be able to get it done. If this video was helpful, please consider subscribing, clicking the notification, sharing my videos, and give me that sweet old thumbs up. If you've got a question for me, you can hit me up on Clay's AC and Auto Repair on the Facebook Messenger. I try to help everyone that I possibly can. I can't help you with that baby mama drama, but I may be able to help you with that car. At nighttime, if you want to turn the old volume down on that laptop computer and put on one of the sweet Clayway playlists, please feel free to do that. If you want to donate or you want some of my merch, look down in the merch store. God bless you folks. Remember, if anyone else can do it, you can do it too.